So the Lakers just lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder last night, and I thought it would be fair for me to give a little breakdown of what I think happened, what the Lakers did well, what they could improve on, essentially the reasons why Oklahoma Thunder's looking like they're probably going to sweep this series. The first thing is I'd like to highlight purely the fact that the Lakers are trying. Like JJ Redick and his coaching staff have definitely got the Lakers doing the best they can to keep the games as tight as possible. And it's evident throughout the game. For most of that game, it was very competitive. I think there were about 12 lead changes. The Lakers did a phenomenal job doing what they can, keep the game close, but inevitably they just fell short. And I'm going to give a little breakdown why I think that is. The first reason is obviously the bench depth. I just don't think the Lakers are deep enough to match up with the Oklahoma Thunder. In the second quarter, Shea played 5 minutes essentially. He had 3 points. What kept OKC afloat throughout the whole second quarter was AJ Mitchell. He had an amazing second quarter. He had 11 points, just really doing any and everything from the two. He didn't really have that many shots in terms of 3-point range. If we take a look at AJ Mitchell's shot chart in that second quarter, he had a total of 7 shots, most of them coming from within either the paint or the mid-range area. He had one 3-point attempt, which he missed, and then he had a midi, which he also kind of missed, maybe like a floater. And I just don't think the Lakers were prepared man-to-man guard one player when Shea wasn't on the court, which is one of the main reasons why I think they just weren't able to execute as much as they should have been. So with AJ Mitchell having a big second quarter, the Lakers were still able to end it with a little lead. I think that was one of their biggest letdowns because they should have potentially pushed it a bit more in that second quarter. And everyone would have probably said the same thing. Lakers should have taken a bigger advantage in that second quarter. But then when you think about it, in the third quarter, they had a bigger chance as well because Shea only played 1 minute 26 seconds purely because of foul trouble. He ended up being I think he got his fourth foul here in the third quarter. And once again, you have not just one player keep the team afloat. You have 3 players. You have Chet, who has 8 points. You have AJ, who gets 7 points. 5 from 6 from the free throw line this time. So he's executing in different ways. Still not hitting a free, just getting to the paint and getting to the free throw line. And then you have a range of different players just contributing here. You have Jalen Williams, who hits a big free. You have Jared McCann. So these are the 3 players that I wanted to really highlight for OKC. When I talk about their bench depth, I talk about players such as Chet, Mitchell, and Jared McCann. Those are the big players who had a massive impact in the game. One of the big reasons why I say these players have a massive impact in the game is because they were able to make timely plays time and time again. For example, Chet Holmgren, in this play here, you can see it's now a 1-point game. Lakers have got somewhat control of the game. I guess you can say that. Shea's not in the game. And what did they give up? An offensive rebound leading to an and one. Chet ends up making the free throw. And you're like, you know what? It's not a big deal. The Lakers will still have an opportunity to go down the court, make another big play, and hopefully come back into the game. So Lakers come down. They don't really have anything going for themselves. And once again, when I say big plays from from unexpected players, that's what separates OKC and the Lakers a lot. So you come down. It's a 4-point play, 4-point game, and Jeremy McCants just pulls it up. There's no need for him to pull that free. There's no need. Like, that is just not something you prepare for. Rui fell asleep here. So if we just slow it down a little bit. Mitchell's drive to the paint. Everyone's kind of half asleep, half awake. Back's turned. I don't know how Rui's lost McCann there. He's lost him. Turning the paint. And he's just instantly, you can see he's ready. He's ready, hands up. He's had his hands up for about a whole 2 seconds now. Bang, hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up, loading it up, still hands up, still hands up. The minute he catches it, lets it fly. And this is just a big play, big time play from him. Knocks it down in rhythm. Big time momentum play. And that's what I mean when I say that the Lakers just didn't have enough personnel to handle what OKC were throwing at them, because you had plays like that where you just can't react to. You don't have the time to react to it. You don't have the personnel to match up with it. Sure, the Lakers went into the game with a game plan of stopping and limiting players such as Shea, Holmgren, maybe I would say Mitchell as well, but they definitely didn't account for Mitchell to give them 20. They stopped Shea as best as they could. Cason Wallace had 12, but a lot of his points came later in the fourth. Jalen Williams had 7. He hit a big and 1 free as well to swing the momentum of the game. And then Jared McCain just had 18 points off the bench in 17 minutes. In 17 minutes, having 18 points off the bench, this is not something that the Lakers are prepared for. This is not something that they had essentially gone back and probably went, okay, we're going to let these players shoot and we're going to contain these players in a certain aspect. And I think the big factor between this is to go again to their depth. The big differentiator between the Lakers and the Oklahoma City Thunder is that when OKC have players such as Lou Dort who are making mistakes and who are such defensive positive players, they're able to play them in spurts. They don't have to rely on them throughout the whole game. And because you have those opportunities, you have someone like Jeremy McCants, who's somewhat of a defensive liability, but you're able to play him 17 minutes. If he's going to give you, okay, today he had 18 points. 18 points probably isn't realistic for what he's going to give you every night, but you can guarantee he's going to give you 6 to 9 points potentially, hitting 2 threes, maybe 3 threes if he gets really hot. But you can guarantee him to do those things for you, and you can guarantee him to hit momentum threes as well. And I think the Lakers just don't have the personnel for that. There are 3 players that I want to point out, especially from the Lakers side, who I want to say just didn't have the best impact on the game. Players such as Aiton, Jake LaRivia had a terrible game. I believe he was a minus 14 in 10 minutes of play. Just mistake after mistakes, error after error, just wasn't really helpful for the team. So like I was saying, players such as Aiton, Jake LaRivia, and Marcus Smart, they're making mistakes that are costing the Lakers the game. And I know throughout the whole 48-minute game, there's a bunch of different mistakes that accumulate and lead to the result being what it is. And you can't always single out one play, but there are big momentum plays that make it harder on the team. And one example is this play, for example, is this play. So you've got Austin Reeves. He's taking a terrible drive into the lane. He turns it over. Jalen River is chasing back. At this point, it looks like it's a turnover, right? It does look like that. He's on the floor. There's not much options. No one's around. Cool. If we're gonna jump this, we need to jump it aggressive so that he can't dribble. So you don't try and get that foul. This is cool. You try and get there. You weren't able to get there. Austin's slow to get up. I don't know why. You just give. There's a free. You contest it, but you need to contest without fouling. If he makes the shot, he makes the shot. You don't need to give them extra momentum. You don't need to give them a reason to feel hyped and for the crowd to get involved going into the fourth quarter. Bearing in mind you were just up 1. And what does he do? He fouls a 3-point shooter. They get hyped, and it instantly changes the momentum of the game. It changes a lot of the momentum of the game. And I think that is such a big factor in what the Lakers have to deal with and constantly dig themselves out of a hole out of. And it's just quite annoying for the Lakers, and I would want to say for their fans as well, because it's a constant battle against yourself when you have players who are able to either put you in a situation where you're in a close game against the OKC Thunder, but then those are the same players who will put you out of the game with their silliness. For example, I have another play with Marcus Smart here. Marcus Smart is driving against AJ Mitchell. There's no need for him to force this at this point. There is just no need for that. We have 12 seconds left on the shot clock. Why are you posting him up here? Why are you forcing that? Why are you forcing that shot up? And then what's worse, he then tries this. I get the point. I get the idea. It's if the pass goes through, it's a great pass. You get a dunk, you get 2 points. But it's just an unnecessary look that you don't need all the time. And this is what I mean when I say the Lakers don't have the luxury of when you have a player who's making these type of mistakes, and even though they're able to keep you in the game or allow you to have some sort of momentum in the game, they still do plays like this that cost you inevitably, that take your chances away from what you were trying to do. And it's not just one play in which these players do this. They do this quite frequently. Like they have mistakes like this, not just Smart, not just Jake LaRavia, but majority of the Lakers team. Even LeBron has minor mistakes like this. And at this point, he's 41 years old. and he's not the same LeBron. So he's, whereas before where he would make mistakes like this, he could make it up 10 times over. Now, once he makes a mistake like this, he can only make it up 3 times, 4 times, and have the correction in that aspect. But you've got players like Marcus Smart who will play 3 quarters of great basketball, keeping you within the game, and then they would have bold headed plays where everyone has mistakes, everyone makes like takes dumb shots, but they have bold headed plays where it's just like we can't get that back. Like this is not when we need that. And kudos to them because they're able to fight back into the game. They're able to do what they can to get back into the game. But then you end the third quarter from up 1 to down 13. So you lose the third quarter by 14 points. Cool. This is what I mean about the Lakers being their own worst enemies in terms of the team. Their roster's just not good enough. You were just down 13, and somehow you're now 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and it's a 5-point game. You've come back from down 13 to make it a 5-point game in about 4 minutes. Great. Much respect for it. There's nothing else you can expect. You have to appreciate this if you're the Lakers. Okay, the effort was there. We came back. We were just down 13. Now we're down 5 with possession. Opportunity to be down 2 or 3. What happens? Pick and roll. Ayton gets the ball. You have a clean line drive here, right here. Shea's going to stunt. Smart should be over in the corner a little bit more. So Ayton catches it. Smart should be over in the corner a little bit more. What does Ayton want to do? Spin. Why are you spinning? Why do you need to spin in this position? You don't need to spin move. You're facing Williams. He's not Rudy Gobert. He's not Chet Holmgren. He's not Wemby. The worst thing about this spin is that you're spinning into Chet. You're spinning into Chet Holmgren. What are you doing? You're trying to do a spin move into a better defender when you have a guard on your right-hand side, your right-hand dominant. Just go into his body and try and lay the ball up, or catch it, control yourself, and look for the kickouts until you have 17 seconds left. If it's not there, give it back to Austin Reeves and run the pick and roll again. You don't need to spin. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. You don't need to try and spin. Like, what are you doing? Leads to a foul from Austin. There's nothing else he can do. It's just so frustrating. Like, why are you, as a number 1 overall pick, as a meant to be a high IQ player, why are you doing this? You don't need to do this. What are you doing? That's a dumb spin into a better defender. For where he can contest you, yeah, Rui's there. Cason Wallace is right here. He can guard too. Lou Dort will split these two because they're so flipping close together. That's why I don't get why you're spinning this way. You have the advantage. You've kind of beaten him. Fair enough, the pass slowed you down a little bit because you had to try and catch it. But look, 1 pound dribble into his body, the lane, right-hand lane. Why are you... oh, man, I'm so frustrated right now. Those are the type of plays that I'm talking about that you don't need to make, but yet they make those plays, they make those mistakes, and it costs them the game. So that's happened. Another mistake that happens, Marcus Smart, I don't know why. A minute later, bearing in mind it was just a 5-point game, and now it's a 8-point game. You're still in the game. There's 7 minutes left. And what do you do? What are you doing? What is this, Marcus? What kind of pass is this? LeBron's clearly not ready. He's trying to get ready. He's not ready. There's 19 seconds left on the clock. You can wait. You just give a nonchalant pass like you don't care about the ball, and then you just turn it over. And luckily, they don't call a transition take foul because there's no one else ready to get back. This is a bucket. This is a layup for Shea. This is a layup right here. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players behind the ball. Luckily, they just call you for a common foul. That is a game-changing play. You don't need to make this type of mistake. You just don't. You don't need to make these type of mistakes. And this is what causes... this is why the game looks like a blowout, when in reality, it was a much closer game than that. Until 8 minutes in the fourth, you saw it was a 5-point game. How do you go from a 5-point game to losing again by 18 or 17 points? It doesn't make sense in a lot of people's minds. People see the final score and think, oh, the Lakers just had a terrible game. OKC were in control of the game throughout the whole game. And that's not true. That's far from the truth. The Lakers had great opportunities. Great opportunities. The play before Smart turns it over, this is what I mean about OKC having depth in their team, having such a good team that it's the Lakers can't compete. The play before Smart turns it over, it's still a 5 point game. Still a 5 point game. And what happens? Honestly, great shot by Chet. Just an absolute big shot. Just lines it up, shoots it over Ayton. Nothing the Lakers can do. And then what happens straight after that? Smart turns it over. You can see what I mean by accumulating mistakes. The Lakers just somehow find a way to put themselves in good winning positions, but then accumulate mistakes to allow OKC. And some of these they're not forced errors. They're just because the Lakers were down 13 going into the fourth. They did such a like they fought so hard within 4 minutes to get it within five that at that point now they're just making little mental mistakes, which is what's costing them the game. It's evident. It's evident. It's there. That's what's costing them the game. That's one of the main reasons why I think the Lakers are really going to struggle against OKC, because they have constant little things like that where they just make mistakes that they're not able to correct quick enough in real time. And when they do correct those mistakes, they let go of the rope. And obviously basketball was a game of runs, a game of mistakes and things of that nature, but OKC have more personnel where they can replace the certain players before they start accumulating mistakes back to back to back to back. And the Lakers just don't have the personnel to replace Marcus Smart when he's accumulating mistakes, Jake LaRavia when he's accumulating mistakes, because they need someone to play. Vando can't play, so they just need someone to play to give certain players rest, and they can't do anything if these players are accumulating mistakes. They're just constantly closing out on Lou Dort aggressively for no reason. Let me just leave that there. What could give the Lakers a fighting chance at home? I think for the Lakers, the main thing is that they have to hope that OKC role players don't play as well. You have to hope that Jeremy McCann isn't having 18 points in 17 minutes. You have to hope that Lou Dort keeps shooting how badly he's shooting. Caruso keeps shooting as bad as he's shooting. You have to hope that AJ Mitchell kind of slows down a little bit, doesn't dominate you in the paint. I think it's worth to kind of still double AJ Mitchell when Shea's on the bench if Lou Dort's on or Caruso's on, just because you need to get the ball out of the ball handler's hand. You guys have shown that you don't have any POA defenders, so therefore you just have to, you have to double. You have to double to keep people at bay. Otherwise, you're just gonna keep getting beat. You also have to hope that you get more scoring opportunities from Ayton. I know the big thing that they always say, especially in the NBA, is that role players play better at home. So we have to hope that if the Lakers can replicate how well they played away, and they do that at home with some of their role players playing much better, Luke Kennard taking more threes. We need Luke to shoot, not just shoot, but play make. Like when you get the ball in rotation, the Lakers need you to be more aggressive. They need you to try and do something with that. And I think Luke Kennard to play better at home. Ayton, please be a good starting center at home. Just don't go 1 for 7. Don't go 1 for 7. Don't have a silly turnover in the fourth when your team is trying to be as perfect, as close to perfect as they possibly can against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Jackson Hayes doing a great job, just needs to stay out of foul trouble. So you have to hope that these role players keep doing what they're doing and more, so that your team can succeed. That's what the Lakers have to hope to do. Smart needs to prioritize. Marcus Smart needs to prioritize the ball as much as he can. As much as he defends and wants to hunt the ball, he needs to also have that energy on offense. He needs to be like, okay, this possession is important. I can't take a dumb post-up layup against someone when Chet's right behind them to protect them, and he's going to make the shot difficult for me. And then I can't try and give a behind-the-head pass to someone when the rim could be there, or something that could be impeding or lead to a turnover. And not to say you have to restrain yourself and play within restrictions, but just be more aware. Time and score. Time, score, and situation. You guys have just come back from a 13-point deficit. It's now a 5-point game. Be more aware. The thing as well, the big thing is the Lakers don't have no pressure. everyone expects the Lakers to get blown out. The only way you can kind of win a game is to put a sense of false pressure on OKC. And that could happen by keeping the game close in the fourth and making OKC think to themselves, oh my days, we should be blowing this team out. We should be winning by 15. And every time it's got to the fourth, that's happened. The Lakers have just given away the game and they've gone, okay, here you go. You can be winning by 4. You can be winning by 15. But if the Lakers are able to kind of stay closer throughout that whole game, by the time it gets to the 3 minute mark and put pressure or hypothetical pressure on Shea and be like, you have to close us out, and put that pressure on OKC and be like, look, we're going to stick around, it helps the Lakers a lot because they don't have any pressure. You guys are meant to get swept. You're meant to be losing by 15, 16, 17 points. But if you can show the Oklahoma Thunder, like, look, we're here. We're not going away, which is what they're starting to do. And I think at home, they should do that a little bit better. I'm hoping that's what they're able to do at home. I think the Lakers may steal one because JJ's just a phenomenal coach. He's really locked in. He doesn't want things, he doesn't like wasting possessions. You can tell he's very attention to detail. He's probably going to look back at the game plan and assess some things they could do better and really focus on it. And I think that's a big thing for the Lakers. But those are just my thoughts after watching game 2 last night. If you guys have any other thoughts, let me know. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.